And then after that, that was it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Is
give
there
you
any, is
another
there any
couple of minutes.
CE?
Go ahead.
Is there any CE every, like yearly or every 6 years or 4 years or anything like that?
Yeah, so I do have kind of short slides that
Okay.
that I'm gonna go
Okay.
through. And it'll talk about most everything I think you'll have questions about. We can talk though more afterwards, but it's not a real lengthy presentation by any means.
Program that allows you to save money and.
We'll give it a few more,
Or your
just a
summer.
couple of more minutes. It takes, people a
Taxi
little
for
bit
cash
to
out.
get logged in.
Taxi for
and
cash out,
Settled up.
monetize installments, same
No,
thing.
it's a deferred sale trust.
So if anybody
So you can-
has anything, maybe just a real quick success story for the week, from your week.
You take the-
I had a good bowel movement the other day.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I heard that correctly.
It was wonderful.
Oh, for heaven's sake. You know, I was just listening to a chapter in my Jim Rohn book today, and he was talking about sense of humor.
What's that?
Yeah, it's important. The sense of humor is very important, apparently, especially in this business.
Somebody's stomach is growling, I can hear.
Oh, let me see.
There, it got digested now.
There. I made you co-host, Curtis, so if you have stuff, you can,
Okay, yeah, just let me know when you want to get started.
we'll give it to 1 or 2 more minutes. And in the meantime, yes, maybe you could recap exactly where you are sitting in from your physical location, and then maybe a little weather report so we can all.
Okay,
Oh,
well, the
nice.
weather to start out with is wonderful. You know, we just had a huge storm here, a big spring storm. They got 3 feet up in Evergreen, and in the Denver metro area, parts of it, you know, over a foot of snow.
Wow.
But right now it's all gone, and it's sunny and the weather's nice, so. Yeah, but I'm in the office today. I kind of split my time. I work remotely part of the time and get into the office at least a couple days a week, sometimes more. So yeah, I'm just sitting back here in the back, enjoying my company and my colleagues.
Tell Robin I said hi.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell her. Robin is in San Diego right now, actually, but I will let her know. Yeah.
I saw the cutest meme online. It was Mother Nature says you can't fit all 4 seasons into 1 week. And California says, "Here, hold my beer." Because
I get it.
hold my beer. Because that's how it's been in the last week around here. We're in San Jose, which is in the Bay Area, Northern
Right.
California.
Yeah.
And we have, several microclimates.
Which are
So
good for the
there's always
grapes.
plenty to choose from. See, there's an awesome picture there by Richard.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so it's 11:40. We've
It
got.
is.
We're gonna get started here, and we're gonna thank Curtis so much from CSA for being here, and we're gonna let him start talking about the Certified Senior Advisor, the Society of Certified Senior Advisors.
There you go. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here.
I'm sorry, Dee. I'm sorry.
All right. Is anybody seeing anything at this point?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for inviting me to be a part of this. And so I'm just going to kind of go over the CSA program, talk about a little bit of the process, the options for education, as well as the benefits. You know, obviously, as professionals, you have a lot of different options for organizations, credentials, and things like that that you want to affiliate yourself with. And, you know, obviously, if you hold the SRES designation, you already kind of understand that way to kind of set yourself apart and brand yourself as somebody who works primarily or focuses on helping older adults. So that's CSA in a nutshell, but it also, it's a little different because we are not an industry specific certification. So this is one of the things that makes us different is we're multidisciplinary. And so the point is not to make anybody an expert in any one given area, but rather to really supplement your specialization and area of expertise with all the other really important complexities that people face as they age. So we cover the health, physiological, the social aspects, the legal aspects, the government programs, financial literacy. We really cover it all. So that's one of the things that really sets us apart. And obviously this is it allows you really a more of a whole person view of older adults as you're helping them with their issues. So that's one way that we're different. Another is that the CSA certification is accredited. And surprisingly, there are quite a few programs out there that are not. And it certainly doesn't mean they're not good programs. But what's great about the certification being accredited is, you know, you really have third-party oversight. You've got an evaluation by an accrediting body that guarantees high standards, you know, rigor in the program, and really a valuable program. So CSA is fortunate to be dually accredited by both ANSI National Accreditation Board, or ANAB, and the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, which is NCCA. And, you know, I think this is real important when you're talking to people about your services and what your credentials are, because, you know, 1 out of 4,000 plus certifications, only 10% are accredited. And there's only 1%, less than 1% that are dually accredited. So it's kind of a nice distinction. So we're talking a little bit about kind of some of the ongoing benefits as you are a CSA, you know, and some of those things, you know, we spend a lot of time engaging with subject matter experts. And we do this to try and keep our members abreast of changes and trends and things that are going on in a whole variety of different tracks along the aging space. So one of the things we have is a quarterly academic journal. And I understand Skip just hit the big 10-year mark as a person on our journal board. So we thank him for all that.
Actually, it's 12 years.
Oh, is it 12? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that correction.
Sure.
But the journal, this is a peer-reviewed publication. It comes out in a physical form. CSAs receive that quarterly, but they also have access behind the member portal of all the archived past journals, which is just a tremendous amount of great information. So these are subject matter experts and top-notch people in their fields across the United States who contribute to that. We also have a monthly webinar series, and that is an extremely well-attended monthly event that happens on, again, a variety of topics. But it's another way that we get people who have expertise to help provide information. And it's also a way to earn continuing education for your CSA.
What's this month's topic?
What's that?
What's this month's topic?
Oh, that's a good question. I would have to look.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm actually hosting the webinar on Thursday, so I should know that. So I apologize.
I better go check.
Yeah. But we also have a Senior Spirit newsletter and a blog. And again, those are just a variety of different information. You can share that information with anybody you'd like to, clients, you know, colleagues, whatever. We also have an annual conference. And this year, we'd move it around just to try to help attract people from different parts of the country who may not have attended otherwise. But our conference is August 26th to the 28th, and it's being held in the Phoenix area, at the Wigwam Resort. And so we're very excited about that. And of course, that's another really good opportunity to have education opportunities along a whole variety of different tracks. So you can kind of choose what you want to look at there as far as the education, but a good way to, you know, share the camaraderie, network a lot. And it's just a great educational opportunity and a good event. Now, CSAs get a little bit of a discount, but actually anybody that wants to attend can, in fact, attend our conference. So that's happening again in August. We also have some free guides and then public service presentations. The one that we have right now that people use a lot is avoiding elder fraud and financial abuse, and that's available to download from our website. Now, additionally, we have worked on forming networking groups throughout the country, and we call them CSA Leaders Networks. So we have somebody who is assigned here as a resource to kind of help formation of these groups, help nurture them along, provide some guidelines. So, but basically they meet on a regular basis and they share information. You know, sometimes they'll have guest speakers, offer CE, and then obviously promote their services locally as well. Hopefully they're doing some referral business. So that's another thing. And again, a lot of this information you can find on our website of where groups are. I think in your area in San Jose, I don't think we have a lot of activity going on. I'm not
No,
really,
you don't.
yeah. But
Are these live or virtual?
you know, everybody's doing a little something different. Our local Denver group just started going live again, but they're alternating between virtual and live. So, you know, we love to have people meet in person, but it's kind of up to the individual groups. So another great thing that you have is, you know, verification tools. So anybody that's a CSA can be found on the CSA website using the CSA locator. And that tells them information about, you know, what services they provide, contact information, kind of whatever the CSA chooses to include. And then additionally, we have a digital badge. And I have my digital badge on my email signature line. So if you click on that digital badge, it pulls up your name, tells you how long you've been a CSA, talks about the scope of the program, what are the requirements. It also talks a lot about the accreditation with ANSI and NCCA. So just another tool. And then lastly, CSAs have a lot of volunteering opportunities. Again, that's why Skip's doing what he's doing. You know, we have disciplinary council, the certification council. We have people who get involved with item writing to, you know, update the CSA exam. So there's a lot of opportunities. So good ways to kind of engage with the organization. And by the way, there's also typically opportunities to volunteer at the CSA on their annual conference as well. So talking a little bit about, you know, what do you do to kind of integrate this into your marketing? These are just some ways that you can display the CSA credential. You know, obviously business cards, marketing material, which we sell some really good marketing pieces in the CSA store. And then, you know, some of the obvious ones, you can even create a custom URL to your profile, CSA profile. And again, I mentioned the digital badge, and then your social media, LinkedIn, Facebook. So you can literally put this thing really, you know, everywhere that you have a forward face, and you want to make sure the world knows. Now, the digital badge actually looks just like that. It looks like a logo, but it's a digital badge. So I just want to talk about a little bit of the requirements for certification and then kind of that process. So there's kind of two aspects of our program. There's a certification and then there's their education programs. So your requirements for certification are passing the CSA exam. Well, first of all, you have to apply and create a profile, answer some disclosure questions that primarily deal with your business conduct. And then you have the requirement of passing the CSA exam. And generally that testing is done at a Pearson computer-based testing center locally. They're a huge provider, so there's a lot of options. The exam's 150 questions. They're all multiple choice format. And you have a 3-hour timeline when you go to the testing center to complete that exam. So you've got the exam, 70% or better. Once you pass the exam, we get the information we need for a national criminal background check. And then lastly, you have the requirement of completing an ethics module. And basically, they're agreeing to the terms of awarding and maintaining the certification. So that ethics module is really based, on our CSA Code of Professional Responsibility. So again, you go through all this because you're showing and exhibiting a commitment to really helping, older adults in a very ethical manner and providing them with the ability to age successfully. So in order to maintain the certification, once you're officially certified and 1 year goes by, you do have an annual renewal fee. And that's $180, and that's due the month you were officially certified. And then with the recertification process, there's a 3-year cycle. So once you get to your 3rd year, you have the requirement of having completed 30 hours of continuing education, of which 3 should be ethics or required to be ethics. So there's a number of ways to satisfy this. If you do CE for other licenses, attend other events, go to conferences and things like that, as long as you're not looking at sales and marketing type of topics, those will count. Now, that said, you can also go to the website and log in behind the member portal. And every one of those journals we talked about that Skip's a part of has what's called a case in point. And so you can basically read an article, go through a quiz, and earn 5 CEUs for each one of those each complete. So it's really convenient, it's free, and it's a nice option to earn your CE.
I might want to point out that all you real estate agents can get your 30 hours of CE credit with the real estate CE. You can just apply them, but there is one caveat. CSA's ethics course is 3 units while real estate is 2. So you got to make up the difference. Usually you can do that online with them then too, but it's not as painful as you think, going through 30 hours because you can apply your real estate credits towards the CSA.
Right. And that's a good point. And thanks for bringing that up, Skip. So at that 3rd year, there's no additional cost. You pay your annual renewal. We verify your CE. We actually do another background check every 3 years. And then you start your next 3-year cycle. So that's kind of how that works. So I'm going to talk a little bit about education now. Basically we have 3 educational options as far as courses. What most people do and what's most popular has more to do, I think, than with the flexibility, and that's our online self-paced course. So you don't have a start and stop time. However, once you enroll, you do have a 6-month period of access. So it's a combination of physical textbooks that we ship to you, and then we set you up with an online student portal account. And in that, you have all 26 chapters, including recorded webinars, checking your learning through quizzes, and then as well, you have other learning activities. So it's kind of, up to the individual, and, it boils down to how you learn best and what your circumstances are. Most people that are going through this program are working. So, with the online course, you can work on it when you want to and where you want to, as long as you have internet. So that's our online course. Now, we do have in-person, as we were talking earlier about the Orlando class we just held, and we're going to have another one here in Denver, June 11th through the 14th. That in-person class does allow you the ability, should you want to to take the exam on the day following the conclusion of class. So it's 3 full days, basically 8 to 5. Now, you do have to jump on a plane and fly to Denver, but June's a nice time to be in Denver. So, we have a lot of people that come from out of town. So 3 full days. If you do the recommended pre-study, we ship you the textbooks ahead of the class, and you go through the 3 days, and you should be pretty well prepared. And so most people have been very successful so far doing it this way. So again, that's the in-person class. Now, as we all know, COVID brought on the advent of Zoom and doing things virtually. So we developed a virtual live class. And that's been extremely popular because it has the structure for people who like that engaged, real-time presentation by an actual instructor and other students at the same time. And you can do it virtually without having to get on a plane and fly anywhere or spend any extra money on lodging. The upcoming class that we have in April, it's a 5-week course, and it takes place twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those sessions tend to take place later in the day. We do have another format, but the April class is more of an evening class format. I believe the log-on time for Pacific time is 3. So we have to span the whole country, so it's going to be early one side and late on the other. But those sessions are about 2.5 hours long. So twice a week, 2.5 hours each day for 5.5 weeks. And again, that also includes the textbooks that we ship to you. So you have a schedule, you know what they're going to cover. You can read the chapters prior to the sessions or after. So ideally, if you stay up on your reading and attend all the classes, by the time that's over, you should be feeling like you're pretty close to being ready to schedule and take your exam.
Now, how frequently do you have the virtual and the in-person classes?
Well, so we usually have 2 in-person classes a year. Now, we don't do a virtual class on the month where we're having a live class. So obviously we won't have one in June. But again, April, May, skip June, July, August, September, October, and November. And I believe we don't have one in December. So we do them every month, basically, as long as we don't have a live class that month. But we do alternate between a different format. And the other format, like for instance, May, is 3 weeks, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But the sessions take place more during the day. I believe Pacific time is a log on at 11 a.m. So the other thing about it, since it's only 3 weeks, those sessions are about 5.5 hours long. So some people like that, but the evening format's another alternative, as we're going to have in April. So, and we can, there's always a chance you folks might have questions afterwards. You're welcome to reach out. So now I'm just going to kind of skip over here to pricing now. This chart is listing our published rates. And the 2 columns on the left are those education options we just talked about, in-person, live, or virtual live, and the online course. Now, these bundles include the exam. And if you look at the 2 right columns, you see the material is broken out separately. So if you just bought our 6-book textbook set with a study guide, it would be $400. And then the exam portion is always $395. Again, the 2 columns on the left include all the material, the course, whether it's live or virtual or online, and the exam is included. Now, the good news is if you hold the SRES certification or designation, we're going to give you a discount off of those pricing. So, and this chart's useful because it kind of breaks out what's included with each one. But on this next page here, I've provided a coupon code, and it provides you a $200 discount. So, for instance, if you did the online course, the self-paced online course, with the exam, all the books and the 6-month access. But this discount is going to be $9.90 instead of the $11.90 listed. That coupon code is used when you enroll, and that's it's going to allow you a place to input that coupon code, apply it, and then that'll adjust the pricing. Now, I made a little caveat here that coupon code does not work on textbook only orders, and it's not applicable to the exam, as our exam's always the same price for any candidate. So that's what we've done to provide, something for SRES, and we appreciate everything that Skip does for us, and really we enjoy working with SERS members. We have a whole lot of them that have enrolled over the years in different parts of the country. So we recognize that as a great credential, and we'd like to think this is really a good supplement to go along with that credential. And I can make these slides and information available to anybody that wants to, have that information. And you're always welcome to just pick up the phone and give me a call. So I'm here not only now to explain and help you with things, but I provide a lot of, ongoing just support to students as they go through the process.
Can you talk a little bit about the Community Service Award and the benefits for them?
So are you talking about the Senior Service to Seniors Award?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what we do each year is we have a nomination process for CSAs who've kind of gone up and above and done some special things within the community, directly affecting older adults. So each year at our annual conference, we do award a Service to Seniors Award. I can't remember when you got that, Skip, but I'm sure you were.
2013.
Yeah. Okay.
When? 2013? Of course.
Yeah. Nice. So it's really a nice way to recognize somebody, and we do always have quite a few submissions to evaluate and determine. So that's something we do each year at the conference. We announce the winner, have a nice ceremony with that as well. Another thing that we're doing, we started last year, is we have something that's called the Jeff Henson Memorial Scholarship Program. And that we actually have a scholarship that's available to anybody that's in a degree program that is, basically related to working gerontology or working with older adults. So any kind of a program in gerontology. And then we also have a scholarship for the tuition for the CSA program. So that's another thing that we take submissions and people apply for, and then we announce the winners again at our national conference.
Well, you might want to mention that the winners get to attend the conference for free, and they also put you up in the hotel and get the airfare free too.
Yeah, I think there's a limit on the airfare, but it's a pretty decent amount. It's something like 500. I don't know the exact details. But yeah, you're right, Skip. That's certainly another great benefit for applying for those awards, both of them. So yeah, and I'm just available for any kind of specific questions at this point. And if you're welcome to offline, give me a call with any of your questions. If you need help, navigating the process of enrolling, happy to help with that as well.
Curtis, I have a question. Can you talk a little bit about how being a CSA combined with our SRES can help us have elevated conversations with people in the senior care industry?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, there's a lot of industry specific certifications out there, and those are super important. Sometimes those are administered by trade organizations and other types of programs, but that's more your specific, training and that credential that is attached to your industry. I mean, I think when you're talking about CSA, you're really talking about a supplement to that area of expertise, and I think what it comes down to is, you almost have to have a reasonably short kind of elevator speech. When you're talking to people about your services and what you do and what you provide, there's some key talking points. The CSA certification has allowed you to expand your understanding really beyond your area of expertise. So you're a better resource. You're also in a vetted network with other professionals in all kinds of different industries. So you really have a better idea of when somebody's having certain kind of issues, where you need to point them. You also understand more about how, for instance, their health and physiological, their cognitive ability might affect the kind of transactions that they're able to do. So whether you're talking to an older adult or whether you're talking to their family members or colleagues that you're working with, this is a really great way to say, not only did I get the specific SRES training, but I went up and above and I said, I'm going to have as much information about the people that I'm going to help as I possibly can. And so this is a way to do that. And again, to have that additional credibility that goes with having taken the time to learn as much as you can about the folks you're helping.
I like to tell people that if the SRES is like your master's in all things senior, the CSA is your PhD. It's much broader. And I use quite a bit of the material from the CSA class in my SRES class when I teach it to more or less expand on a lot of the areas that are touched upon.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. One of the other things, Julie, that we have, you may be well aware of it, but in our store we have something called You Deserve Professional Advice, and it's really a great piece because it's just a little trifold, but it's the kind of thing that you can leave with people, or you can take parts of that and integrate it into your marketing messaging. But it really talks about why it's important to work with a CSA. So the more of that information we get out to people who need your services, obviously that's really helpful. But it's something to take a look at. You Deserve Professional Advice.
I just had a thought. Both CSA and SRES have marketing material, and I'm wondering if maybe we could combine it somehow. Maybe, one side is SRES and the other side is CSA, and then you'll be doing a twofer.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. When we do modifications to our standard brochures, sometimes there's some licensing things that go along with that, and Robin can tell you more about that.
Well, it can be standard. It's just that you're including both the groups, in one piece of material.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely, feel great about SRES and attaching ourselves to that great program as well. So.
Well, whenever marketing collateral is available with the CSA, we can combine that with the SRES marketing collateral. It just takes a little bit of creativity and some Canva applications. And then, if we take it directly from the sources, we shouldn't have any, copyright problems or anything like that.
Yeah, we're always welcome to have folks share, any of our content as far as that goes. We just ask that you cite the source. But our newsletter, the journal articles, really anything information wise is shareable as long as you cite the source.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of info, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's just an endless amount of information that we can plug into our marketing. It's a little overwhelming, but that's one of the things that I try to do is introduce some ideas that we can narrow it down to one bite at a time.
Well, just to give you an example, CSA, I don't know, several months ago had a webinar on VA benefits. And if you recall, there is nothing in the SRES class about VA benefits. So guess what? I incorporated some of that and put it in the class because it's important for a lot of people to know what the benefits are, which even many veterans don't even know what programs are available to them. So it's things like this that really make the CSA worthwhile and helps with what you're doing with SRES.
I'll take honey for a walk.
So to answer the question about the webinar, let me just fill you in on that. This Thursday, by the way, is applying human-centered design in the aging industry. So this is more of an interactive workshop. So that's taking place this Thursday at noon, Mountain Standard Time.
So is that design in dwelling design or is that in?
Well, that's a good question. It's Lisa Rill is doing it with her husband.
She's on the board with me.
Mhm.
She's great. She knows her stuff. Yeah.
So is that, it is architectural in nature? You like
I doubt
universal design?
I
Or is it-
doubt it. She's not that, she doesn't have that background, but I don't know, maybe she is, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Tune in and see.
Yeah.
Wait, Curtis, can you repeat that description again, please?
Applying human-centered design in the aging industry.
Human-centered, so I think it's people more than places.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have got a little, there's a little more of a description on the website. If anybody was interested, I wanted to look under events on the CSA website. Yeah.
So I have a question for Skip. You said we could use our CE from real estate, like when we have to renew our license?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Serious?
So you're doing a twofer.
That's
doing a
a
twofer.
twofer is like,
Yeah.
woo.
Well, for me, and I used to have to do CE for real estate, then for the CSA, and then for my CFP, and then for insurance. So I used to have to do all of them. Now I've gotten to the point where I'm so old and I've had these for so long, I can waive it. So I don't have to do any more real estate CE. And the CFP is now at the point where I don't have to do them either. So I just have to do insurance, which covers CSA. And any particular webinar, meeting, online thing you go to, whatever, it doesn't have to say that it's a CE class, but you can submit that to CSA to fill the requirements for the CE.
And what if you got your license a year before? How current does it have to be if you renewed your license?
Don't know. You'll have to ask Curtis about that.
Curtis, what would
Well,
that question?
So once you earn the CSA certification and you begin that 3-year cycle, anything that you do within that cycle is applicable to that current, requirement.
So it doesn't expire, like it doesn't have to be updated within that year or anything like
No,
that, just
it
3
does
years.
not. Yeah, it's every
Cycle.
3 years, and you can get it all done early and just whatever, it's as long as you have it done by that 3rd year.
so for example, I'm renewing this year and I'll get all my CEs, by the end of the year, and that'll just sit until it's time for me to do my 3-year renewal with CSA, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm at year 2.5
Yeah.
on CSA. Yeah,
Just remember that ethics class, there's 3 hours of ethics in CSA, while there's only 2 in the other, like real estate insurance and all the other stuff. But you can easily knock that out online, doing the class and get the
Wonder
credit for it.
Wonder if
I
you could
like that
flip it.
case in point thing, the case in point option. That's nice.
Yeah.
option.
Yeah, those are awesome for sure.
Yeah.
Patty, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I wonder if you could flip them. Like if I do this,
You can't
No.
go from CSA and apply it to SRES.
you can,
They're
no,
pretty-
to apply to the,
Any real estate CE is very difficult. They have to be registered. They have to have an exam with it. They have to
okay,
do a whole bunch of other vetting that most of the other CEs don't have to do.
okay. All right, so then you could just do one credit on something else.
Yeah,
Got it, okay, perfect. That makes it very easy because I'm like,
right.
Yeah.
CE is like, I don't want to do it. I mean, I don't mind doing it, but I don't want to continue, like have three. I have to do one every year with Master Gardener and then every year or every, what is it, 3 or 4 years? I can never remember for our license.
4 years, 4 years.
Four, every 4 years. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's-
it's as easy as clubbing baby seals. I tell you, it doesn't get any better than that.
So Curtis, can you speak a little bit about the CSA marketing to the senior industry, the senior care industry? How do you interact as CSA with the senior care industry itself?
Well, I mean, what do we do to engage with professionals in that industry?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and
I
most
mean-
pointedly, so the first contact persons that we see as SRES in that community are the sales and marketing departments and the EDs of senior living properties.
Mhm.
And so, developing, is there a general, a general awareness that the CSA of CSA amongst that C-suite of the senior care industry?
Yeah, I mean, so there's different things that we do, but within the senior housing, under that subcategory, you've got people who do placement. They're very integrated with facilities, as well as assisted living. So I do attend industry conferences quite a bit. That's of course one of them, but in addition to that, I look for other opportunities to try and engage with companies that are in that space. So, I do go to some of the franchise system conferences, the Home Care Association of America, which is, you're not just talking about franchise, you're talking about independent agencies. Next week, I'm going to be at ASA, that's the American Society on Aging, it's a big conference, and it encompasses a lot of different people at different levels of care. I mean, so those are some of the things that I do. And whenever I can, I'm certainly trying to, have the opportunity to talk to folks like yourself.
One of the things that I forgot to mention
Gotta
is
get
that
plugged in over here.
one of the advantages of working in CSA is you have a built-in network already. So any kind of problem you have, you can find an expert to help solve the problem within CSA. So it's a great way to do your networking and build a team.
And it's a vetted network. I mean, that's a
That's
great
right.
point, Skip. These people have been through the background check, the rigors of the program. They've exhibited all the necessary steps to satisfy those requirements. So that's a good deal.
The reason why I'm asking is because we're developing, when we go out into the communities and we develop relationships with these communities, with these senior living communities and their EDs, their executive directors and their sales and marketing departments. We work hard, I'm trying to work hard onto differentiating ourselves from all the other realtors that they interact with.
Yeah.
And as SRES, and then at the added benefit of being CSA, which does bring us, it elevates us to another level. And so we get a completely different reaction and to these departments because of that. And
Yeah.
I like to promote that. And I like to think that CSA is aware of that kind of situation and maybe, I'm sure that there's probably marketing to support that I just haven't found yet.
Yeah, I mean, CSA is pretty prevalent in the kind of the placement industry, if you will, which has grown tremendously over the years. I mean, there's facilities that will only work with CSAs, is my understanding, in certain areas of the country. So, you're definitely, if you're adding to your credibility, to your toolbox, to the kind of things you can speak to as far as your credentials, So, it's a kind of a win-win. But again, I encounter a lot of these people at conferences that I go to. So, there's really a lot of, I guess, cross-pollination between facilities and people who are out there trying to help people get placed, and realtors are of course a big part of that. So I think over time that's become more and more prevalent.
Hey Curtis, I just have to interrupt you. 2 times I heard you say the big F word. That's a bad F word.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say
Facility.
facilities, it's called
Facility.
communities.
It's
You will be
community.
Communities.
blacklisted if you call it a facility, so get that in your
Yeah.
mind.
Well, what if
Right.
you're talking about a hospital? Would that be a facility?
Oh, a warehouse would be a facility. Army
even-
barracks would be a facility.
It's
Not
not, see,
community.
it's senior living community. It's, yeah, you can
Yeah.
say, boarding care facility. No, you can't say that. You have to say boarding care. facility.
Thank you for pointing that out. I
Yeah.
appreciate that actually.
I heard you say it twice. I'm like, it's been
Yeah,
embedded in our brains. So
I
I make that a
Yeah.
big deal in the SRES course to call things by the right name.
Yeah.
Not rest homes, not,
yeah, no more rest homes.
yeah, no, retirement
Nursing
home.
home.
Yeah, no nursing home, exactly.
Nursing
Yeah, you
home.
could call skilled nursing a skilled nursing facility, but that's like the only one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's
So-
the borderline of demarcation.
correct. Yeah. And you don't want your clients to go to skilled nursing. You want them to
No.
be set up before.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like the emergency exit. That's like the last, yeah, that's last ditch. So
Yeah.
that's why we want to get in front of them before anyone else.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Use that again, the community
Yeah.
police will get you.
Well, I appreciate that point, and I will definitely make note of that.
So now how about any consumer facing marketing or
Well, we don't do a lot of direct to the consumer because primarily we work with professionals who we assume are kind of doing some of that. But it carries on, when you provide people with information about what your credentials are, then they start to understand what that is. The truth of the matter is you can put acronyms behind your name, but a lot of people don't know what they are
they
anyway.
have no idea?
It's how you talk about it, and
Yeah.
it's how you integrate that into your marketing, your elevator speech, if for not lack of a better word. But so it's people have to be made aware of it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, Curtis,
Mhm.
I got a question. I'm pretty much sold on this. So you're saying there's a class that begins in April, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
And there is I'm a SRES as well, so there's
Okay.
a $200 discount, correct?
Correct. Yep.
And that means I'll go with the more expensive one. I think it's $12.90.
This QR code will take you right to him, but I will get you all his information directly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So you can go to the website under our events and you'll see our class schedule. And then if
Okay.
you click on that April virtual class, it's going to give you the rundown, and it's got a place where you can do the registration. But it gives you the daily schedule, and then what the process of basically redeeming that coupon code, if you will, is, once you've added that education package to your cart, you're going to see a coupon code field. So that's the key, to type in the SRES 200. And once you apply that, that's going to do the adjustment to the pricing.
all right, Curtis, I look forward to it. Thanks for all your information.
And you're welcome to give me a call if when you're doing it, you need some help. So don't hesitate.
I appreciate that.
The
Awesome.
website's real simple, csa.us. I mean,
Yep.
even I can remember that.
Thanks.
Well, what do you guys think about all that?
It's okay.
What if you don't
Okay.
pass on your first try?
Okay, well, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked. So the process is this: when you apply and pay for the exam, we authorize you to test for a period of 1 year. So essentially, from the time you apply, you have a year to take and pass the exam. If you go within that year, schedule an exam and go and take it, you're actually going to find out at the Pearson Computer-Based Testing Center your results that day. So if you don't pass, what they do is they provide you with a breakdown of how you scored in the various areas of the exam outline. So obviously that's to help you focus your efforts. Now there is a retest fee, and that's $115. So once you pay the retest fee, we get you reauthorized to test again. And you can go ahead and schedule another exam. The only other requirement is that you have to schedule that subsequent attempt at least 30 days from your previous attempt.
One other
That's awesome.
point, go ahead, Richard.
No, I was going to say, just by coincidence, Patricia and I are in the same office. Perhaps we can have a small wager between us. How
There
we
you
do on,
go.
how we do on that
I'm no
test.
longer,
They,
I'm no longer with Intero, Rich.
Patricia,
Well,
yeah, you gotta tell Richard.
Sorry,
What
Rich,
do you-
I didn't know if anybody knew, but I went to KW because I want to be part of the family planner. So
So they still don't give you the results if you pass. It's only if you fail, right?
That's correct. It's a pass or fail, but you know, it's a sticky point because people want to know what they scored, and unfortunately,
Of
you'll
course.
never know.
Yeah, it cost me $200 to get the information. Oh, no, never mind. Well, there's another perk here too, which they haven't talked about, is you get points for recruiting new members. So if in fact, when you have your CSA and one of your fellow real estate agents wants to get his CSA and you recommend them, then you get 100 points that you can use any way you wish for like membership renewal or merchandise or other courses or whatever it might be. So anytime you sign somebody up, you automatically get 100 points then.
We don't get nothing like that from SRES.
You know how SRES is. I can't even get them to partner with CSA. I don't know, that NAR has got a weird thing, and I'm still beating their heads up on the down the rabbit hole course that they
Yeah.
don't want to do. So I'm not real happy with NAR right now. Thank you very much.
a lot of people, but I think they're a little busy right now anyways.
busy.
You think?
Yeah, they won't be taking your call anytime soon.
Well,
No.
they haven't, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll
Maybe.
get all new leaders in there now too.
National Association of Realtors.
possibly. Yeah, maybe things will definitely change.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a whole nother.
Ball of wax, headache.
So, thoughts, anybody?
What's a family planner at KW?
But we can talk later.
Okay. No
Yeah,
problem.
and it's actually the real estate planner.
Yeah. The family
And then,
planner is
yeah.
who, yeah, KW is the family planner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. You can call me or text me. I'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, tell them
okay.
all about it, Patty.
First you get married, then you have kids, then you have grandkids.
It's not family planning.
Oh,
It's the real estate planner.
oh, okay.
The real estate planner. Yeah. With a TM or a C or a parentheses R parentheses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Circle R.
Something like that.
Well, I
I'm
want to
Steve.
thank you all again for including me in your meeting here. And again, I'm happy to have any kind of follow-up that anybody have other questions that maybe didn't come up or you didn't think of. So feel free to reach out. If you need my contact information, I can also provide those slides if any of that information is useful to you.
That'd be great. And I'll have all of your information. It's already in the bulletin, the current bulletin, and it will be in the next week's bulletin as well. And everybody can contact me to get to you. Eventually, everybody will just get to you on their own.
And both Julie and I are going to be available to answer questions if you have anything too,
Yeah.
after, so, we're both big enthusiastic, people for SRES and,
And the
CSA.
CSA, yeah.
So if Rich and I decide to join, Rich should pick Julie as hers CSA, and I should pick Skip. So, or Skip, you don't need to reapply or
Well, I actually I expire at the end of the month, and I'm
Okay.
waiting for one other person that said she was gonna sign up. Well, Catherine Ambrose, you know her.
Oh, yeah.
She was gonna sign up, but she hasn't yet, so,
She was gonna
And
use
Cor-
you.
I'd
I
have to
think
shell out
Corey's
the
gonna-
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Corey's
gonna
going
sign up
to.
too.
I'll mention it to you, but I could do it now since you could say that we can use our CE. That was my sticking point, is like, I love taking courses. I like passing a test, but it's the CE that always like haunts me
It's
and makes me feel like
overwhelming.
I was like, I don't really want to do, I'm busy doing other things. I don't want to be focused on that. So
I have
if you
a-
say we can
I
do
have
that, that's
some
perfect.
Yeah, and I have some solution and a suggestion, and I'll make another meeting out of that, because that is a very valid point. And, for CE, just for us as realtors, so I got some stuff for you for that.
Cool.
Well,
Sounds
just
good.
be, I can avoid all that, just be 70 years or more and 30 years as a realtor, and then you don't have to do it. Or you can be an emeritus, which is just 40 years, but
Yes.
only get out of the ethics class with that.
Try financial planning.
We're gonna be here for a long time.
I have a last question. I think probably you already answered that, but maybe I didn't hear that. For the CSA final exam, where do this take place?
Yeah, so the testing in general is done with Pearson, and they're a computer-based testing provider. So they have a network that's huge. So typically people, like for instance, in the San Jose area are going to have multiple locations that are going to be reasonably close to choose from. Times and dates can vary between locations. But our accreditation requires an in-person proctor. So with only one exception, and that's when we are doing these live classes that are in person, everybody tests at a Pearson VUE computer-based testing center locally.
But is that the old Silva,
Thank you.
Silva testing?
Well, Pearson's actually really large. I mean, worldwide, they're the largest publisher of textbooks, I believe, in the world. They developed part of our online course. I mean, they've been around for a long time, but it's like a Sylvan Learning Center or
Yeah,
trying to
okay,
think
so
what the other one is.
they're not the
you know.
same though. Okay.
Now they contract with colleges and universities and other centers, so that helps expand their network, and it gives the candidates more options of where to test.
Okay.
Hi, Salita. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for sending the link.
Where are you coming in from?
San Jose.
Nice.
I've
And
heard
are
of
you,
that place.
I'm in BRG.
yeah,
Yes,
that's my next question. Thank you.
I know. I have seen you there.
Awesome. And then just real quick, I'll say, I took the test at a Pearson Testing Center in San Francisco. And the reason why we do have a couple of local locations here in San Jose and up the peninsula, but the date that I wanted was available at the San Francisco Testing Center. So I just took that one. I took the train up, took the test. They said, here you go, you passed it. And I'm like, yeah. So then I went over to the closest restaurant I could find and had a beer. So that's my decision.
That's a great way to celebrate. And then if you don't pass, what do? You go to the same place and celebrate.
Yeah. And I was all by myself, but I was like, I walked into the restaurant and I'm like, where? And they're like, okay,
What is she on?
what is she? I said, it was the equivalent of passing. I don't know. I have so many licenses, every state board I've ever gone to.
I've
It's
got a
ridiculous.
driver's license. I
That's
think.
Yeah. Oh, your driver's license is not the same, no.
Oh, well, pilot's license then.
Yeah, yeah, pilot's license now, that you should celebrate, Skip.
Why?
That is hard.
Wow.
Already done that. I did
Well,
that.
thank
when
you
I-
thank you for sending the email, Julie.
Thank you for reading it.
And
I'm
thank,
gonna unfortunately have to leave you all, so I
You
apologize.
go, Curtis, you go.
Thank you, Curtis.
You go.
We'll talk
Thank
about you when
so
you
much.
leave.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Thank you, Curtis. Thank
yeah,
you.
you're welcome. Anybody's welcome to follow with me after the fact, and I'm happy to help. But appreciate you having me, and you all have a great afternoon.
likewise.
Thank you so
Thanks a
much.
lot, Curtis.
Thank you,
Appreciate
everyone.
it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Do the same. Do the same.
All right, you guys, it should be a little bit inspiring to create some ideas in your mind about how to connect the, being a CSA to our SRES. And, so now, we'll have a little better understanding. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me, you can ask Skip. And, just ongoing. all
Will
the
do. Thank you
Go
so
ahead.
much. Have a wonderful
Thank-
day, everyone.
Thank you, Salita.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Julie. Take care.
Thank you. All right, you guys, everybody good for the day?
Yeah, why
Beautiful.
not?
Yes. I'm just reading your post about Wendy's.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
Copy and pasted, but
Copy and paste this. You need
So-
to ask.
did you do the senior call this morning?
I didn't. I overslept.
That's all right. So we're gonna have,
Ooh,
I
whoa.
I set my
DM'd
alarm and then I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll just give myself 10 minutes. And then I
Right.
look, it's 6:45. I'm like, oh,
Well, I just wanted to share with you real quickly, I DM'd with Catherine yesterday. So we're in conversation and hopefully we're gonna get her to our group in the next, however, whatever she can muster up. And then if she can't possibly fit us in, that's okay, because we still have Corey. And
Mhm.
Corey can fit us in, and now you're connected to Corey, and then
Yeah.
now you gotta go tell Richard all about it.
yeah, what the family planner is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Go ahead,
emailed,
Skip.
I emailed Corey with some questions after the meeting last week and haven't heard back from him. So I'm hoping he,
Well, he's pretty
Good.
slammed, but
yeah, I
Yeah.
know. And he said what he had a couple
yeah.
thousand unread emails or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering what. the
Yeah,
best way
actually,
to
did you
contact
email him?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he won't answer emails. You gotta text him those. That's
Uh,
what he told me.
Good old dinosaur me, no text.
Okay, I'll help
you
you out.
can't
I can
check?
help you out. We can help you out.
Yeah, we can help you out.
Yeah, we'll help you
If
out.
you just tell me what you need, because he said he doesn't read his emails. He doesn't have time for emails. So he
Yeah,
just
'cause,
hired a operations committee, what's the person who does operations? Was it OOC or something? I don't know. Operations, I don't know.
Yeah,
the
Because,
person called.
Patty is on Corey's team.
Yeah,
Yeah, you mentioned
So-
that last week.
We need
he's
to
too
talk-
busy. Yeah, he's too busy.
Yeah.
So
All right, well. So it will be.
We're,
yeah, if you need
We're
a
getting-
question, ask,
getting
just ask
traction
Julie.
here,
Julie can
people.
text him. That's how you
Yeah.
reached out to him, right on Facebook? You
Yeah.
DM'd him?
yeah.
Not on Facebook.
Skip, we gotta get you up and going. Come on
He's
now.
not going
luck with
anywhere.
that.
We'll just do it.
You're
Well,
not gonna do it?
My
No.
goal in life is to try to get through it without having to join Facebook or getting a smartphone.
Those are two things that our seniors live by. We are that generation that is on Facebook. And that's
Okay.
why they were talking about Trump saying dissing the whole Facebook is like,
Yeah,
for people.
that's
It's
where
like,
your people are.
I'm too old for
Hello.
that.
fans are. It's like, why would you diss Facebook? And you do look, when you look through here, a lot of the people are in the seniors. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's time consuming though. I don't like being on Facebook either. So, but I was told
So-
I have to.
So here's a suggestion that I've been trying to like justify my scrolling time. Is
Mhm.
I'll try, if I get one hit on a business idea, a connection, or an angle, like with a real estate group that I'm in, and I saw a flip that they just did that I need to go look at. that justifies whatever scrolling time I just did. And then I try to make it like a time frame. So, because otherwise we could just sit there and scroll and go
Oh.
down that rabbit hole.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It has to be timed. You have
Yeah.
to set your phone on a timer and say, okay,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
But you know, last week I was upstairs and I realized Alexa was listening into my conversation. And ever since that conversation that we had last week, I'm getting estate planning coming up on Facebook. I'm getting what was the other one? Oh, Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and California is like, wow, that is amazing.
I know. I Googled something the other day and it shows up on my Facebook.
Building better caregivers.
It's AI. It's creepy.
It's AI. Yeah, she's
Creepy.
listening.
It's creepy.
She's listening. So
We're just gonna have to ignore it.
I was like, oh, I probably should have had this meeting. But I mean, you know, some of it's informational stuff.
We talk about she who shall not be named.
Yeah. Well, she just listens.
She does. She just
It
listens.
circles, like the light will
Uh-huh.
circle around the thing. I'm like, oh,
So we like to say wacky things.
Yeah. pretty scary.
Cute.
Oh yeah.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Are you a seller? You deal
Am I-
with sellers?
Yes. Mhm.
Would you like to know a program that saves your sellers on their capital gains taxes?
Yeah, this is Bill, and we're gonna have him back for. a
Yeah, I was
whole
on that.
segment. Yeah. 'cause
Yeah, I was
Bill
on that one.
does- Yeah, you
About
remember
the
Bill, right?
trust. I remember
Yeah,
you, Bill. Yeah.
The
You did
deferred
the
sales
trust.
trust. Yeah.
Yeah, you did the trust, the
I'll
trust.
get a name and.
Yeah.
And
I got all their,
email, I'll-
I got all their information.
I'll
Yeah.
send,
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
And then
Yeah.
we're gonna have you, that's why you're here. We're gonna have you back
Okay.
because we need to have another session for the deferred sales trust.
Yeah, deferred
Realtors-
sales trust. Yeah.
Realtors have short attention span.
No, I remember that. Did Michelin ever join? She's off. She's mic'd
she's
off. but
there.
Did she join the senior call?
Oh, I'm here now.
Did you
But,
join the
no, I
senior
didn't
call?
join the call. No,
You haven't
No.
joined the senior call.
no, not at this point.
Oh, but I did send it to you to join, right?
Yes, thank you.
You got it. Okay, I just want to make sure that you got it because I saw that you had DM'd me.
Do they put
Yeah, and
out
we
the,
can see them, they post them so we can see them anytime.
do they put out like a
Yeah.
calendar or what's coming up type thing on their calls? I'm
They
thinking
do not.
there's something of interest that I could plan ahead for it, but
Oh, the senior call?
No, it's all based on just how it flows in the morning.
well, so
Catherine
you're-
gets on, there's
you're winging
no plans,
Okay.
nothing, not like Julie's, there's no structure.
Okay.
It's
all
just like 80 people getting on and talking about,
Yeah.
it just ends up.
Yeah.
I could get on and complain about how early it is. so.
Well, hey, I'm going to Hawaii and it's 3 hours difference there now, so it'd be 3 o'clock in the morning.
So-
I'm not waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning,
You
dude.
can get
Okay.
the replay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Can I hand deliver a flyer with you?
Yeah, to Hawaii. Okay, what island are you going to?
Kauai.
The Big Island?
Kauai.
Oh, Kauai.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
I clean out my ears.
Yeah,
Kauai. Okay, Kauai.
Yeah. So
fun.
I will be watching them over but I was thinking of doing because I'm bringing my computer and I was thinking I could do the live event for the CSA, but that also would be like 4 o'clock in the morning it'd be 12 o'clock or 12 o'clock till 2, I think. So it's like, no, that's
Yeah.
midday. I'm not gonna do that.
No.
So anyhow,
This
we'll
is
figure it
real.
we'll figure it out. So Skip, do you want me to use you when I sign up?
Sure, you can, and then Julie can use
Rich?
Richard,
Okay.
and that way
Alrighty.
I get my freebie.
I will sign that up. I like that idea. That is amazing.
Well, I'm visualizing out of our group, I would like to create a team, atmosphere of CSA. So where we can create another level of even networking and back and forth on creating marketing materials that we can kind of hone in on, and then marketing plans that we can kind of hone in on. One of my
Yeah.
first projects is to talk about and to utilize even for ourselves, myself, is the senior living communities that are high-end and that are real estate.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to teach you guys on what the difference is between the ones that are real estate and the ones that are multifamily lease onlys,
That'll be a short list.
right?
Multi-family leased only, yeah.
Yeah, and then how it works to get into the sales offices and interact with these people, because it's very specific.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
And they already probably have their real estate, but you know, people retire. I'm about to call our family agent who we bought this house from 40 years ago, and he's got to be like 84, 85, and I think he's still in the business. I'm like, well, if you ever retire, who are you gonna, you know, who's gonna take over your business?
There
Yeah.
you go.
You
gotta
know?
You
find
want to
out.
know?
I
I want to
retired-
know.
I retired so many doctors. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? My sister tried to make an appointment with her doctor, her primary doctor, and they said, "Oh, he's on vacation." I said, "Oh, can I schedule it for when he comes back?" "Oh, when he comes back, he's retiring." "Oh, really? Does he have a referral partner? Like, who is he gonna refer me to?" Said he doesn't.
Well, my
rude is that?
my cardiologist is on sick leave right now. She had a baby, so I gotta do a pinch hitter, you know,
But
until
they
gets
don't
back in
even let
July.
you know that, right? Shouldn't they let you know that?
Well, what they did, I had an appointment scheduled, and they called and said, "Well, you know, we're gonna have to cancel it because, you know, Dr. Kim's on sick leave." I go, "Oh, gee, I hope nothing's
Yeah.
terrible wrong." "Oh no, she's just having a baby." Well, you know, you can prevent that from happening if you really want to, but
I bet you said that too. Like, oh, she doesn't know about preventative measures?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's too
absent-
bad. But yeah,
absent
don't you
that
think
day.
when a doctor retires that he should have someone that he trusts to take over his clients instead of just leaving them out in the dark to just, you would think that somebody would step up and say, "Oh, I will gladly take over your clients, your referral clients."
No, actually, he can just take a
Well,
picture.
don't get me started on that.
Yeah, that
No.
does not make sense. But anyway, I gotta run. I gotta go to Kaiser for my doctor's appointment. My
Yeah,
sleep
get
apnea. Hopefully that'll,
Yeah.
hopefully they're gonna say, "Oh, yes, you have sleep apnea. That's why you can't sleep at night."
You have a mask yet?
So.
No, I don't want a mask. If it's a mask, if it's
How about
that,
the other
if
hand?
it's a
Oh, yeah, I
CPAP,
want
I'm
to-
not gonna do it. I'm not
I've
sick
had
of
one
it.
for 20 some
Just
years.
turn the camera
It's
on.
not,
And.
not fun. I hate it.
There,
No.
put it over there, and then that.
I'm not doing it. They have
Fill
that new
up, just touch
one
it.
that they can insert in you. I would only do
So As
that.
soon as it reads the code, you just.
Good
touch
luck with it.
Yeah, thank you, Skip.
to-
I'm gonna run.
say, oh,
Patty, I have a question for you. I
Yes.
was reading the senior thing, so I didn't get on. Is there a phone number to get the replay?
No, the replays are on. So when you join, you can just go into the replays in the Facebook and they'll just
Okay.
come right up.
Okay, very good.
And
Thank
you can
you.
scroll down as much as you like.
Okay.
You can see as
Thank you
many
for
as you
sending
like.
it. Thank you for sending it to me.
All
Sounds
right,
interesting.
I'm jumping, folks. See you next
Okay, me
week.
too. See you next
All
week.
right. Okay, you guys have a
Bye.
great week. I'll see you on the computer.
See you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you.